Welcome to Potty Mouths, and welcome back to another installment of Retro Rewind. This is Stephanie, 1982.
This is Bert, 1984.
This is Brad, 1983.
And for those that are new to our Retro Rewind, it's where we basically go back to our childhood and we talk all things 80s from 1980 to 1989. And since it's December, we thought we'd cover toys today.
Yeah, because we're talking about like when it was good to be a kid, the Reagan babies.
When toys could, like, I don't know, kill children and nobody really seemed to care.
But children didn't die.
Nope.
We were fine. We knew not to poke your eye out with the missile launcher G.I. Joe guy.
Although that did happen.
Yeah, but nobody lost an eye, only with BB guns.
They removed a Star Wars toy just for that reason, for the kids wouldn't shoot their eye out. Rocket firing Boba Fett.
I mean, there was some burns, but you just don't reach into an easy bake oven.
True.
Hey, if you want them brownies, just live real life.
I'm a toy collector, and I can honestly say the 80s had the best toys ever. Do you think with technology advancing, toys would get better? No. But I guess mainly it moved to video games anyway, so...
Yeah, I know, just Christmas shopping, like, the toys look like such crap.
Yeah.
They're just, like, injected, extruded plastic. There's nothing to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Hot Wheels today, you know, it's just like pop can metal with little plastic
Yeah.
wheels where, like, when we were kids, you could freaking try to jump on a Hot Wheel, and that thing stood the test of time.
Yeah.
The wheels would get that classic little bend, you know, on the axle where they'd
Oh, yeah.
drive funny. But that thing held up. Like, 10 years later, you'd be like, hey, I still got them Hot Wheels.
All the Hot Wheels that I've gotten my oldest in the past, and even ones my little brother had, they're bent, but they stood the test of time and they still roll. So we're just going to go through and talk about some toys and things that we remember and things that we really love from our childhoods and things that we wanted that we never got. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for ruining my life.
Yeah.
So first, I think we have to mention this one fucking first. Cabbage Patch Dolls.
Those were a hit in the 80s.
I never wanted any, so.
I never had them.
I never had them either. My cousins did. My mom would tell me about what it was like trying to fucking get them. It was insane.
I would consider the Cabbage Patch Dolls to be the 80s version of the fucking Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah, it's exactly what it was.
I mean, they're just, oh my god, and there were so many versions of it, and it is actually listed as the most popular fad of the 80s, and is one of the longest running toy franchises in the U.S.
Really?
Yeah, and it switched hands. It was first owned by Colco, then Hasbro, then Mattel, then Toys R Us had their own toy line. They got the Cabbage Patch Dolls for a while. Then Play Along Toys, then Jakks Pacific, and currently they're owned by Wicked Cool Toys.
Wicked cool.
Which I think that's cool, then. Wicked Cool Toys. But today, the original 1984 Cabbage Patch Kid can go for anywhere from $995 to $2,000.
Yeah, I want to spend that much money.
Now this is probably like, did they come in a box? I think they had like a outing, like a box.
It had like a clear sheet on it, and then there was just a
Yeah.
square box that had like cabbages on the front of it or whatever.
Yeah, so when they go for those prices, it's like sealed box.
Yeah, like never been opened.
Yeah.
But unless it's the Snack Time Kids Cabbage Patch Doll, which has been banned.
Why was this banned?
So the Snack Time Cabbage Patch Doll's mouth moved up and down to chomp and eat things, and you could feed it fake food or real food. But the thing is, there was no fucking off switch, so it would just keep chomping, right? And then a couple fingers got in the mouths as they were feeding food, and there were some broken fingers, and then maybe some concerns after that, and they just kind of banned the whole fucking doll.
Really?
Wow, I'm glad you went that way, because all I was thinking about was the sex robots.
Yeah,
and
that's
the
all I
child pedophiles before. Oh, I was thinking, Jesus!
I mean, unless you know a pedophile in the area, in which case, find a Snack Time Kids Cabbage Patch Doll and go ahead and give it to him.
You might pay a fortune. Might be cheaper just to get a sex robot.
Jeez.
Yeah, so yeah, it was some chomping little fingers.
I bet that one's worth a lot of money, though.
Well, if you can get it, absolutely.
Yeah.
Those ones that they recall and all that, those are always worth money.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. The rarer, the better. And the more dangerous, the better, apparently.
And the weirder, and that sounds pretty fucking weird.
Yeah, like, I mean, I get that there's dolls today that eat and poop and whatever, but their mouths generally don't move.
Since we're on Cabbage Patch Kids, It spurred like one of my favorite cards of all time, the Garbage Pail Kids.
Yes.
Oh my god, I love those things. Any chance I got to get those when I was a kid, I was on them.
I thought they were great, but there was one that disturbed the hell out of me. I don't think it's a technical phobia, but it's called tryptophobia. It's a fear of holes. Mm-hmm. There was one where like the Garbage Pail Kid had like holes, chunks out of them, and the whole card creeped me the fuck out. I can't remember which one it was, but the whole card creeped me the fuck out. And then there was one with snot that was like really, really gruesome.
Yeah, I remember all those. When I was super little, a neighbor of ours had all the cards like on the refrigerator in the kitchen. And I would just stare at those things for hours, looking at all the weird stuff. I didn't know what I was looking at. I was like 4 or 5 at the time. So
I would take my action figures in and trade other kids just to get more of those cards.
Really?
Yeah, I loved them, dude. I still got shit tons of them.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to see your Garbage Pail Kid cards.
Big ass binder full of them.
I want to see if you got the one with the holes that creeps me out.
I might.
Like, how many do you think you have?
Oh, God, I've got hundreds. Well, I think there was, I've got tons of them. And they reissued them in the early 2000s. They brought them back. So.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing
Same ones or are they new ones?
Well, they're newer, but they used some of the classic designs and did like a redrawing of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a revisioning or like an extension of the original pack.
Yeah.
That's cool, though. Now I kind of want to get some for our little guy because he likes gross, weird stuff.
Yeah, I actually bought some not too long ago.
You are a toy hoarder.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, collector.
It's hoarding.
So the next one on the Care Bears, man.
Oh, yeah.
Launched September 24th, 1982. Ones today on the market can go for a couple of $100s. There's one special pairs Care Bears where they're like twins, and if you can get those in mint condition, they can go for $1,200 on eBay.
Really?
Yeah.
Money!
Yeah.
The next one is my personal favorite and one of the first toys I remember from my childhood, and that's the glowworm.
I remember the glowworms.
Had one.
I always wanted them. I never got one, but they were fucking cool.
They were cool,
Yeah.
and like, I don't know. I think at a certain age, especially an age group that would be interested in the glowworm, one, I mean, it's essentially a nightlight, right? It's a nightlight that you can cuddle. How more appropriate is that? But they were owned by Hasbro, and they were bought by Play School. They came out in 1982, and mint condition ones go for around $100.
Wow.
So if you got the original green guys, they've come back out
Have they?
on the market. Yeah, they've come back out recently, but yeah, that was one of the first toys that I ever remember from my childhood is my glowworm. I bet you it's still at my mom's somewhere. Because my mom's also a hoarder.
You need to go find that and sell it for $100.
Oh, it is not new. It is not in any good condition, I can tell you that right now.
Played with it.
Yeah, I remember the battery died in mine, and I like ripped it apart. I
course you
ripped out
would.
the little thing out of it because I want to see how it worked.
So, Masters of the Universe He-Man figures.
I had a He-Man. I had He-Man on his little lion thing with a sword. I was four or 5 years old when I had it. It was pretty cool. It didn't fit under my bed very well. That's when Mom would tell me to clean my room up. I tried to stuff it under the bed, but it was so tall it wouldn't fit. So.
Yeah, you've always had a problem with putting your shit away.
Yeah, that's why I got married.
Yeah, I was never a big He-Man fan. I don't even think I watched the cartoons.
I did. He-Man and She-Ra both. Both came out in 1982, owned by Mattel. He-Man's, and still in the box and everything, worth $1 or $2 but there was a version. It was like the villains. It was Skeletor and villains in a box. Sells for $4,995.
Yeah, Wonder Bread? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, they released a He-Man. It was He-Man, but it was done different. His hair was painted brown instead of, the gold. Mm-hmm. And, I guess, back in the day when you would clip off the fucking UPC symbols and mail them in, you get free gifts. Mm-hmm. Well, they had a Wonder... what the hell was his name? Wondra He-Man figure. The thing's worth about $1,000 loose. Yeah.
That's the She-Ra Princess of Power in the box with her Pegasus is about $1,000.
Yeah. Well, this is just straight loose. Like, I've seen them. There's a local toy shop. They've got, like, a beat-up one selling for $650. And they already sold the damn thing.
I should start collecting, like, all those Burger King and Pizza... Well, do you remember, like, Pizza Hut used to have toys and stuff?
Well, yeah. Remember the Lamb Before Time puppets at Pizza Hut?
Yeah, those things always go for
Those
good
fucking
money.
rule.
Those things always go for good money.
Do they even have? Yeah, there he is. What was his name?
It's Mall 2 Custom Wonder Bread He-Man Wonder Salvage.
Yeah, how much is he selling for?
$35. Somebody
Oh,
got ripped
really?
on eBay.
No shit.
No shit.
Maybe we should purchase this. Brad's on his phone right now. Brad, don't get on your phone yet. You got to give us some more toys.
I wonder if it's like a repro or like somebody doctored it up or something.
Well, Walmart's got them too, apparently, for $150. But he's in the plastic, so this has got to be a reproduction.
Yeah.
$1.
Wondar.
Who the fuck?
It was like they got Mattel's He-Man mold, just fucking painted his hair brown and pushed him back out.
Holy shit.
But do kids nowadays even have Happy Meals or like toys in their Happy Meals?
Yeah, but it's all
do.
like...
Yeah, but they're such garbage. You go to some restaurants, it's like educational stuff, which is fine. I don't care. Like little cards, memory cards, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But we went to McDonald's, and they have like the Wreck-It Ralph toys.
Oh, cool.
And the one our little boy got, it's supposed to be Fix-It-Felix Jr. in his little car. You're supposed to roll it back and it's supposed to move forward. The first time he goes to roll it back, the spring breaks inside of it, so now I don't even do anything. I mean, they're junk.
It's all like big movie stuff that comes out. Incredibles 2, Ralph Wrecks the Internet, all that stuff. So, yeah, I don't think they'll ever be worth anything, but, I mean, I guess it would be okay to keep them around.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to go get Happy Meals back in the day. They had all kinds of cool toys, but...
Yeah. Well, the one thing I wish I would have known as a kid, and I know now as an adult, is you buy 2 of everything, you play with one, you don't touch the other.
Exactly.
There were so many things I had, such as He-Man and his little lion thing. That's probably worth a couple $100 because it was a set at the time. Yeah, just definitely. Don't open all your toys, kids.
Yeah.
That could be your retirement plan.
Definitely could. If you get
Where's
the right
some-
ones.
Where's some more toys you've got?
Oh, man. One of my favorites, not a lot of people know, was the Boglins. Have you seen, like, ghoulies, critters, those little creatures? Well, basically, it was just a little puppet. It was a little fucking creature that looked like a ghoulie, the green ghoulie. And you put your hand in and fucking, whatever. It was just a
So
puppet.
it's like a plastic puppet thing?
It was a rubber puppet. So they're not holding up well over time. Mine are starting to fall apart because rubber doesn't age well.
Couldn't you...
Pricey.
Yeah, I got them before they big fucking 80s bloom, or when everyone like got older that was born in the 80s.
Hey, I think they're bringing these back, but they're not called
Are they?
Boglins.
Wow.
They've been, it's like Monster in the Cage or something. I've seen them in the... They're bringing back something similar to that.
Another one similar to that is Mad Balls. Fucking love those. They brought those back.
Yeah, Mad Balls were cool.
Yeah, most people know like the balls themselves, but they made the balls, but made them heads for these little men, where you'd fucking pull the trigger on the back and the head would shoot off. Fucking love those.
I
So
did
much.
not.
Remember
I
those?
did not have those.
They were so cool. I've got a bunch of them still to this day. Those are some of the toys I'll probably go to the grave with.
So, Mad Ball was actually created by a company, and I've been seeing these, and they just remind me of Hallmark, who actually created their own toys back in the 80s, too.
Oh, really?
American Greetings.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they came out with them in the mid-'80s. They originally only lasted 2 seasons, but I think my favorite names were... Do you remember the Mad Balls that they came out with that were sports-themed? Mm-hmm. So, I love these. The American football-shaped one was Touchdown Terror. The soccer name one was Goal Eater. And the basketball name one was Foul Shot.
Foul shot.
I love little names like that. What
It's
else?
almost as good as Door Slammer and
Door-
Spoon Licker
And what was it? Silverware Snatcher and
Sausage Stealer.
Sausage stealer.
oh, you gotta love the Yule lads, don't you? This time of year, when your sausage goes missing and your door slamming at all hours of the night, sinister as fuck. What else, Brad? What other toys you got?
Since I'm on a roll with the ghouls and goblins, the real Ghostbusters line. I mean, I love the Ghostbusters. Fucking, those were really cool. I enjoyed those quite a bit. They got a little hokey as the line went on with ghost football players and
Oh, they always
toilets.
do.
Yeah.
They always do. It's funny because I was reading about the Ghostbusters because there's another show called The Original Ghostbusters. There's a little competition thing. But to make long story short, the real Ghostbusters came out with that toy line as a marketing ploy against that other show to make it go off the air.
Oh, really?
They wanted to get the popularity, and they're like, well, kids, toys, it works out for us.
Yeah.
I mean, because they made it a cartoon. It really wasn't a kids' movie when their live-action movie came out.
Yeah.
But this is their way kind of playing off of it and keeping the rights to it.
First of all, Slimer. Second of all, Egon's hair.
In the
Thirdly-
Cartoon hair, yeah, the little swirl.
Oh, yeah.
Third, why are we not marching against these fucking people that think they can remake awesome shit and pass it off as the stuff we grew up with?
I fucking love that cartoon.
The original cartoon was great.
Yeah.
I
enjoyed it. I enjoyed the cartoon a lot.
It was so great. And I think is it still on Netflix? It was back on Netflix
Oh,
for a
was
while.
it?
Yeah, we
Wow.
watched a bunch of them. It
Like
might still be on there.
Yeah, our little boy liked it, so.
Yeah, hell yeah, he liked it.
Now, something else I had when I was a kid at the same time, for instance, we're talking cartoons, was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, hell
I
yeah.
had those, and not the ones they sell now. I mean, these were the
Yeah.
ones where it was a super hard plastic. You could chuck it at somebody and knock them unconscious. Those were cool.
Those are going up. Those are getting pretty pricey
Yep.
nowadays.
I think it's when they, like I said, they got those monster in the cage things that are like the Boglins. I think when they try and reimagine these toys, the old ones go up because it reminds people. They're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, I remember that. And then there's an
Nostalgia
interest
bomb.
in them, and then the
Nostalgia,
price goes up.
exactly,
yeah.
And I will say, of all the things that they've come out with from our childhood, the newer cartoon for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is pretty fucking great.
I heard it's good.
It's pretty fucking great.
I just can't get behind the look because I'm so used to that classic one from when we were kids.
It is weird, the animation and everything. It is weird, but it's still a really good
I
show
heard
with
it was
really
good.
good characters and really good voices, and it's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that you want to have.
That's good.
And there's a lot of movie references in the new cartoon too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, like Big Trouble in Little China and like movies like that. It's a great cartoon.
Yeah, I watched it up till season 3, and then when they went to space, I kind of lost interest.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm a big sci-fi space
Well,
guy.
when
but-
any franchise goes to space, that's when most people lose interest.
I mean, Jason in Space was by far
Yeah.
the worst Jason
Yeah.
movie of all time.
That's when I hung it up.
It's like, yeah, you're done.
I actually watched some commercials today.
The old '80s commercial.
Yeah. Do you remember Micro Machines?
I do.
The super tiny little cars. Well, I mean, they weren't just cars either. But I did not know this. First of all, it was owned by Galoob.
Yeah.
Do you remember at the end of that commercial it was like, Galoob! That, like, Hasbro took them over. So anything that used to be Galoob is Hasbro.
Yeah, Hasbro bought Kenner too. Kenner
Yeah.
was the mecca in the '80s.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, I remember seeing
A lot of this stuff that we
That
were
was
talking about today was
Cincinnati.
Kenner, too.
Cincinnati company. Kenner.
Ooh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so a lady I work with, her husband has one of the original off-the-line C-3POs from Kenner
Oh, really?
in the box still.
Oh, yeah.
It's his prized possession. She brought it to work, and he called her like a dozen times and said, "Don't you break, don't you?" And here's the funny thing: he doesn't have it because he's a Star Wars fan. He has it because he's the kid on the back of it playing with it because he modeled
yeah.
as a kid. So
No
he's the
shit.
kid playing with the C-3PO. And it's the only reason it's in such good shape because I guess his mom put it away for him. Like, you'll appreciate this when you're older.
Oh, I've bought collections off people because their aunts would bring them home all these toys. They were already too old that they weren't really playing with toys, so these things just sat there in mint condition. And it was just because their aunts worked at Kenner down the street and just fucking gave them to them because they got so many free toys.
I've never known anybody that worked somewhere cool enough that I would keep anything that they brought.
Fucking Kenner though, man, they created like the 3 3/4 action figures. They
There's
did a lot. They
I think there's a couple Kenners in my list here.
well, they did Star Wars. They did the Ghostbusters. What else did they do? Shit.
I'm going through my list here. I know I've put Kenner down.
They did this toy line called Mask, but that wasn't very popular.
We'll come across it. I know I've gotten it written down somewhere in here. I didn't know that they were Cincinnati based. That's really cool.
I think they might have done Care Bears, or I could be wrong.
Maybe because the Care Bears and shit, a lot of these companies changed hands several times.
Well, there's a street downtown over by the old Union Terminal. It's like Kenner Way, and there's like this big mural painting with all the toys they did.
Yep, I drove by. I had to drive through downtown and up that road to get back on 75 when traffic was bad one morning.
What do you guys remember the Superpowers cartoon?
Yeah.
Well, they did a toy line for that, and their home base was the Union Terminal down there in Cincinnati, and they fucking made a toy for it and everything. I've got that.
I should probably fucking start paying attention to the city that we live in.
Hey, Cincinnati's got a lot of cool shit.
I know. I just thought it was like bars and bratwurst.
Yeah, there's a lot
We
of
got
those.
that too.
And beer.
But, big old Hasbro came down and bought them out, and, just like how corporations do.
Well, the reason I bring up the Micro Machines and watching commercials, the early Micro Machines television commercials were made famous featuring a guy named John Moschita Jr.
Didn't he have like a sweet mustache?
He did have a sweet mustache. You're remembering that correctly. But what he was known for, at the time, he was listed as the Guinness Book of World Records world's fastest talker.
Yeah, I remember.
So, because he was like, Micro Machines, everything was Gloob. And
I remember that guy. I remember that
at
guy.
the time those commercials were going, he was the Guinness Book's world's fastest talker. The Micro Machines had many popular cars and trucks, trains, emergency vehicles, tanks, boats, airplanes, helicopters, and motorcycles. And do you want to know what their most famous, what their most valuable one is? It's a Star Trek Micro Machine.
Really?
Yeah, that goes for $370 on eBay.
One of the small ones?
Yeah, one of the small ones.
Because I know they would make like play sets where they'd open up for like the little guys.
No, I think the set goes for $370. The individual vehicle goes for just under $100.
Wow.
So I thought that was kind of cool because Star Trek. They also had Star Wars models too.
Micro Machine set for Star Trek, having a bunch of spaceships, Cardassians, some Klingons, some everything else. Limited edition collector set number 3, $239 on Amazon.
Well, apparently that's a steal.
I wonder what the Star Wars ones go for. I've got all those.
So if it's Star Wars, I've got it. You're so hard to buy for this time of year.
Yeah.
Hey, there's some Star Wars. Brad's probably already got it.
I need to take a picture of all my Star Wars shit and post it up.
You should.
Yeah.
Do some glamour shots of your toys. Mm-hmm. I'll bring my camera.
You should anyway. That way, if anything ever happens, you can go to insurance.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people on YouTube. They do that with their collections just so they can show the insurance company. Yeah, that's what I had in January of 18.
Yeah, we're not talking about like my shoe collection here. You have a collection that should be protected.
Yeah, you don't have leopard print heels or zebra galoshes or whatever.
They're snakeskin, bitch.
Whatever they are.
Zebra galoshes.
Anyway, so let's get girly. Let's talk about My Little Pony.
Gay.
They're gay.
Sorry.
Yeah, we didn't really mean
We didn't mean to offend you gay people, just the stupid ponies.
First of all, I wasn't that girly growing up. I didn't own any My Little Ponies until they came out with those ones that smelled good.
I remember those.
Yeah. And then I was like, because it was weird. You know the markers that smelled good? Like the brown marker smelled like chocolate, and then like the red one smelled like cherry. If it was scratch and sniff, I fucking wanted it. I had a weird obsession with shit that smelled good. So I guess that was the prelude into my like body spray phase.
Scratch and sniff.
But My Little Ponies were Hasbro, of course. 1982. The year I was born was hot shit for toys, guys. Just saying. They were originally called Pretty Ponies, and then they became My Little Ponies when Pretty Ponies didn't become popular. First of all, now that they come out with My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and now you got all the bronies and shit, they're making mad fucking money off that shit now. The brand, the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, the remake, the stuff that's going on right now, the brand grossed over $650 million in retail sales in 2013.
Wow.
And made over $1 billion annually in retail sales 2014 and 15. And the original My Little Ponies can go for $600 a piece.
Jeez.
My little pony, yeah, you suck a pony dick, they're worth some shit. Talking about making fun of my girl stuff.
Demerit. That's your second demerit since we've been doing this pod.
I don't even give a shit. I don't even give a shit. When I was growing up, I was a doer, not a sit in my room and play shit kind of girl. So I didn't have My Little Ponies, but my ass had a pogo ball. Do you guys remember the pogo balls?
I
I
do.
do.
It was like the fucking...
Oh,
Did
so-
the dodgeballs have a special name?
I don't remember.
It's like a dodgeball with the disc around it.
Oh, I thought that was the pogo ball.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I didn't know if that special ball had a specific name.
I just always called it a four-square ball.
See, I just always called it dodgeball. But when that disc would slide out of the little crevice it was supposed to be in, and it would nail the inside of your ankle bones, probably the worst pain of my childhood, besides kickball injuries.
With said say ball.
Yes. With a similar type ball. So,
I always thought they looked like Saturn. It's like a little
Yeah.
Saturn ball.
but they were cool as hell. And I gotta say, though, they didn't bounce very fucking well.
I don't remember.
They were
bouncing too good.
discontinued for a while because they were dangerous. Or like, kids are jumping in. I'm like, where the fuck are these kids pogo balling on the edge of a cliff? You can't even get that fucking high on these things.
Watch me bounce on the edge of this overpass over the interstate.
And then we're gonna blame the toy.
Think about it. That's what they do today.
Anyway, if you have an original pogo ball, they were made by Hasbro and they go for about $90 a piece these days.
Overpriced.
Whatever, bitch.
I had an Etch-a-Sketch. I had it so long, the stuff started coming out of it. Got it all over my hands. Made a mess. Mom made me throw it away.
I've never broken. You know what? I'm actually surprised because we put our Etch-a-Sketch through some shit.
I didn't put mine through that much shit, but it leaked all over me.
Always wanted a Rainbow Bright.
I had one of them.
I loved all the lights and shit. It
That
just
was
always
pretty
looked
cool.
so cool. I never had one.
You
though.
mean a Light Bright? Rainbow Bright's the toy, the doll.
Oh, well, I guess I mean a light bright.
Light Bright. Light Bright's one with the board where you put the little
Yeah.
thing.
The
Yeah,
little
Light
colored
Bright.
pegs in.
Yep.
So one,
that's
they
Light
brought them
Bright.
back. They brought them back, so you
Did
can
they?
still get one. Two, I'm super pissed off because the pegs are square. The original Light Bright had like, they were shaped like a Christmas, like the mini Christmas lights, and you put the peg in there. I guess kids can't play with sharp shit, even though it wasn't that sharp, but now they're square, and that
wasn't
really
what it
pisses
was.
me off.
Looks too much like a pill, so all the pill heads were popping them.
Fucking eating the goddamn light brights. Jesus Christ.
If they still look, I tell you what's dangerous. Fucking Legos. If they still create Legos, the Light Bright should be pill shaped.
Whatever. What was the one where you could draw? The Sictograph, or whatever, remember that?
Spirograph.
Spirograph.
Oh.
I had that too.
That
I
thing
love
was
that
cool.
thing.
But yeah,
Put in a
so
different hole and everything.
when you bought your Light Bright, it came with the white board with all the holes in it set up grid style. And then you would put a piece of black paper over it, and it had an outline for you to follow, and you could follow and put your colors in how you wanted them. So when I ran out of those black papers, I used to try and create my own designs. And then later, when I ran out of ideas, this is going to turn this is just a random ass fucking story about my Light Bright because I loved it so much. Some birds fell out of a nest, like little tiny baby birds. So we had to keep them warm. So I dismantled my Light Bright and used it as an incubator
Oh, wow.
and raised
Look at
baby
you.
birds in my Light Bright.
I don't know if I saw this in a movie or just happened to me when I was a kid. It's one of those things we talked about during Word People Science.
Yeah.
I could have swore my dad played with my Light Bright one time, and he made a hand flip it off somebody.
I absolutely believe that your dad did that.
He might have, I'm pretty
But
sure.
yeah, just in case anybody is like in a fix and some birds fall out of a tree and you need something to incubate them, take apart your Light Bright. Save a bird or two. It fucking works.
Save a bird or two.
With your Light Bright.
It's a win for the animals.
I mean, it took from the earth and now it's giving back. And by the way, I stayed up night after night after night, never fucking slept, and hand fed those baby birds.
And they died.
No, actually, my brother killed them.
Oh.
Thanks for bringing that up. And Stephanie tanks another fucking episode because
Lord.
of Bert. Thanks, I wasn't even going to bring that up. Yeah, my brother got pissed off that my mom was letting me keep these fucking birds and shit, and I go out to feed them one day, and they're laying on the ground, fucking smushed. He took them out of the cage, where I had the cage, and then towels, and then the Light Bright, and then the nest inside there, and he took them out, and he slammed them on the fucking floor.
Jesus Christ. Psychotic shit.
Just in case anybody wonders, I fucking hate my brother.
I hope you fucking popped him for that one.
Oh, no, I tried to strangle him.
Good.
I almost
Some
choked him to
Dexter
death.
shit.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I almost choked him to fucking death.
Like, don't get me wrong, I've accidentally sat on a kitten before. I killed a kitten. I feel
He's
terrible.
he's still traumatized.
I am still traumatized. Whose name is Enterprise and everything. I'm so sad. I didn't purposely kill a fucking animal. That's fucking Dexter shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Andy.
For real,
Fuck you,
man.
Andy.
Anyway, Brad, you got some more toys for us now that we're not going to be talking about dead birds?
Yeah. Do you guys remember color forms? It was like this.
That's the gas you go and knock a girl out, right?
Chloroform.
Okay. I used that in my 30s. But it was like this little environment already like painted on, and it would come with like these removable stickers. Like I remember I had like the Smurfs and a couple other ones, but you would place them on the color form, and you would just create these little like scenes. I mean, it didn't really do much. It was kind of pointless.
I don't remember those.
Oh, I had a bunch of them. I loved them. But yeah, I mean, there wasn't much to it. I just had such a fucking crazy imagination. I would just sit there and put my little Smurfs in their village. They didn't do nothing. They just sat there, but I would play it out in my head what was going on.
That sounds so familiar to me, but
Yeah.
I can't. I remember doing dioramas like that for school. Wow, shoeboxes.
And it was just a flat piece of paper.
My thing was fashion plates. It was these 3 little plates, and there was like the head of a woman, and then the upper part of her, which would be like her top, and then the bottom part, and then her leg and shoe area for like a skirt or pants or whatever. And you would take each plate, and there was like several of them, and they had one side or whatever, and you put them together, and you could create several different looking women wearing several different looking outfits. And I used to design fucking outfits all day long. That was like the one girly thing I did when I was younger. Fashion plates, man.
You didn't do Easy Bake Oven?
Plates. No. Because my mom let us
It shows in our cooking today, folks.
First of all, fuck you. You enjoy my cooking. Second of all, my mom let us use the real fucking oven.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I wanted an Easy Bake Oven so I could make brownies at night when I was going to bed.
The Easy Bake Oven was done by Kenner. That's the one we were talking about. I just found it. The Easy Bake Oven was done by Kenner.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the same people that created the Spirograph was the ones that created the fashion plates.
Nice.
Light Bright was Hasbro.
Kenner and Hasbro, man.
Yeah.
They had all the good shit.
They did.
And Mattel. Mattel had their fair share.
I
Yeah,
forgot about
Mattel.
See, I wasn't a big He-Man guy, so I kind of forget about them. Well, who else did Mattel?
Barbie.
Oh, well, yeah, all right.
I mean, I didn't play with Barbies or nothing. But
Popples.
Popples? I don't
Do you guys remember Popples? Okay, so it looked like some weird, like, stuffed animal bear type thing, and you could roll it inside of itself, and then it was just a colorful ball.
Mm-hmm.
I remember those.
The creator actually got the idea for these toys rolling fucking socks.
Wow.
I thought that was fucking awesome. Anyway.
I thought maybe he turned the animal inside out after he met your brother smashing some birds, and he's like, "This is a good idea."
I think we got our Popples before my brother became a fucking raging lunatic. But they were created by Mattel, and they only lasted from 1986 to 1988, and I looked up all the names of the Popples, and I figured out which ones we actually owned.
George Popple.
We owned Prize, Pretty Cool, and Pancake.
Popples.
They had like a little long tail with a little poof ball on the end of it. They were cute as hell, and then you roll them up. You can use them as a pillow and stuff. I used to sleep on them when you have to go for long car rides, but today Popples are worth $30 to $60, so
Nice.
not that bad. Brad, you got any more toys for us?
Oh, I've got so many more. One of my other favorites was Dino Riders.
I remember Dino Riders.
I loved them. Well, you guys know I'm a fucking reptile freak because it spawned from me loving dinosaurs from when I was a kid. So, of course, I love the Dino Riders. Basically, it was just like some of the bigger ones, they were battery-operated dinosaurs, and they had, like, these machine guns built on them and shit, and they would just walk around and shit, and yeah, I don't know. They did Brontosaurus, Tyrannosaurus.
Well, they, do you remember Beast Wars? That came out because of Transformers.
Isn't Beast Wars Transformers? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Basically, they're just beasts.
Well, this was Dino Riders. These were real dinosaurs. They weren't transforming.
Yes, Stephanie!
Come on.
Nothing would beat a fucking velociraptor with 2 miniguns strapped to his side.
That's right. They had like this armor and these guns built on.
I remember him.
Rolled around.
Remember the cartoon? Wasn't there a cartoon
There
on
was
it?
a cartoon.
Yeah, I
They
remember
were
the
fucking
cartoon.
badass looking.
Tycho created them. I think they, in the 80s, a lot of the times they would create a toy line. I think this is even what happened with Transformers. And then they would make a cartoon to go along with the toy line to help
As
it
the
sell.
marketing, yep.
Yeah. So, like, Transformers, I believe, I'm not 100% sure, started as, like, a toy line. But then they created the cartoon to help fucking sell everything.
That's pretty cool.
And I think that's what happened with Dino Riders as well. But I mean, you said that's how they played the Ghostbusters too.
Yeah,
So
it's interesting. You know what? I really like Transformers. If I just think about it, they're supposed to be a super advanced alien race, and here us dumb humans have one that turns into a tape player. I just think like, man, if we only knew then what we know now, it'd be like a flash drive or something.
Yeah.
SD card.
They turned into a fucking VHS cassette holder. Yeah.
Teddy Ruxpin.
Teddy Ruxpin.
He played cassettes.
Yeah, and his voice moved. Surprised nobody got their fingers pinched on that one.
I think it's because he was soft and fluffy.
Yeah, I had a Teddy Ruxpin.
So Tycho had a lot of those kind of toys, because wasn't Teddy Ruxpin and Tycho too?
No, Teddy Ruxpin was Hasbro as well.
Really?
Yeah, because I could have swore like Tycho had like a bunch of like little digital toy, like voice recorder toys.
No, I mean they did like advance it, but the original Teddy Ruxpin just played the cassettes. But I mean he grew and whatever, and then I think they at one point it was just like memory cards if I remember correctly. But the original cassettes that came with him, like he's only worth around, I mean, a good Teddy Ruxpin's only a couple of $100, but those fucking cassettes, if you can get a set, like, because there was like season 1, season 2, season 3, and it was like always Teddy Ruxpin goes on an adventure with somebody.
Yeah, didn't he have a buddy?
He had several buddies. I don't remember their names, though.
I thought there was like a caterpillar that came along later that talked like him as well.
There was. Hold on, let me find him.
So just doing a little bit of research on Tycho, which was bought out by Mattel.
Really?
They they were under the name of Consolidated Foods, which had a bunch of conglomerates, which ended up being a division of Sara Lee Corporation, one of my former employers. Viewmaster. That was a big one for Tycho.
I remember the Viewmaster.
Actually, one of the first ones we ever bought was the dinosaur one for Viewmaster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then we had, our first ones were dinosaur scenes, and then we had some underwater scenes and stuff like that. Those were our first Viewmasters. So there's Teddy and Grubby meet Newton Gimmick.
Was Grubby the caterpillar, or
it doesn't say. I'm trying to find his exact like what they are, but yeah, they changed hands, man. Teddy Ruxpin did Play School, Yes Entertainment, Backpack Toys, and now they're owned by Wicked Cool Toys.
Yeah, a bunch of these
Wicked
toy
Cool
companies
Toys
I've
gets
never even
another
heard
one.
of Wicked Cool.
Because Tycho got bought out by Mattel. Mattel also owns Fisher Price.
Oh,
so a bunch of the Tycho stuff actually falls under Fisher Price's brand naming now. So
Trying to find his buddies' names. Grubby the Caterpillar.
Yeah, I thought so.
You are correct. It is Grubby the Caterpillar. It's so weird because Teddy Ruxpin looks like him, and then this caterpillar just looks like a fucking caterpillar. Like, they don't look like they belong in the same cartoon. It's crazy. Did we talk about Rainbow Bright? Yeah, you said Light Bright.
Yeah, I got them confused.
Yes.
So what was Rainbow Bright?
Rainbow Bright, she was like what they call a wisp. Like a fairy, and then something happened. I don't remember how the story goes with her, but then she becomes this Rainbow Bright. They were owned by Hallmark, 1983, and then later sold to Mattel. But she had I don't think she had wings. I think it was just a horse with rainbow hair, and she was all rainbow colored, and she had friends that were all like different colors and stuff like that. I wasn't very familiar with Rainbow Bright. I'd only seen the cartoon like a handful of times. But a brand new Rainbow Bright, or a mint condition, still in box Rainbow Bright can go for $315.
Wow.
So yeah, another one, they're Hallmark. I never knew that Hallmark created toys.
I didn't either.
I mean, they sell really good ornaments this time of year. Didn't I buy you a Star Trek? Yeah, I did. You have a Star Trek ornament that I got from...
you talked about it, but you never did it.
Did we? Well, we went back and they were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Star Trek tree.
Got R2D2, but that's it.
Calls him RDD2. He can't say R2D2. We need to remember to bleep out his name. Because I just said his name and I didn't mean to. You said it too.
Our little one.
Our youngin' says he's RDD2, which is adorable.
That's what he asked for Santa for Christmas one year.
An RDD2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got him several. We got him like a big one that rolled around, and we got him a little one, an ornament for the tree, and
He sat through 5 minutes of Return of the Jedi, and then he was done. So
But he likes RDD2.
RDD2.
Oh, yeah.
Cute little thing.
Speaking of Star Wars, I mean, I guess the first line was released... the first wave was 1979, but a majority of them came out in the 80s. Another Kenner fucking toy. Yeah, Star Wars.
What do you think the most valuable Star Wars action figure is?
It's the rocket firing Boba Fett.
The one that killed little kids' eyeballs?
Well, they developed it. Then they're like, I don't know, something happened with a different line. They're like, yeah, let's just for safety reasons redesign this. So there was only so many made in a prototype form, and people got it got out. And a few people have them, and one recently sold for $20,000.
Holy shit.
$20,000. This isn't even in the box. This is just a loose piece of 3 3/4 plastic. It's $20,000.
So I remember after they released, I don't know, maybe it was Revenge of the Sith. They came out with this Jabba the Hutt, like his palace for Lego. Mm-hmm. And they had a guy on TV talking about it, like on one of the news channels. Like, he goes, if you see this for less than $200, buy it now, people. Don't open it, just buy it. They're only making so many. So I remember going to Walmart shortly after seeing it. I saw it for like $115. Like, man, I'm not going to spend $115 on that. So I just totally ignored it and everything else. I got online like a week later, and they were going for like $400 or $500.
Really?
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back. Walmart was completely sold out. Everybody had sold out of these things because people were buying them just to hold on to them. And I think they're going for still a couple $100 right now online.
And this was the Lego set?
Yeah, it's the Lego set. And it's because I think Lego only made like 100,000 of them or something.
Legos hold their price. I just sold a Lego set on eBay for $200. I only spent $40 on. So that was a nice turnaround.
That is a nice turnaround. I just had to buy one for my Angel Tree kid, and it was the Lego City Police Chase or something, and it was $40 normally. I spent $30 on it on Amazon.
Our youngest is the biggest Lego Batman fan.
Oh,
so we had to get him as much Lego Batman stuff as possible. Lego Batman was great. I liked it too. It wasn't just...
I liked the Lego movie as well.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
It is very good stuff. Remember where I did more stuff outside than play with toys inside? Mm-hmm. Do you guys remember the roller racer?
Nope.
It looked just like a bicycle seat, and you sat down on it like on the floor, and it had these weird shaped handlebars, and you put your feet on the handlebars, and the rest of the handlebars had grips, and you would just move it back and forth, and you would race down the street. You guys don't remember the roller racer?
Sounds like the big wheel.
Kinda, but there's no pedals.
Remember when Siri almost interrupted our podcast?
Remember when Bert couldn't quit playing with his fucking phone during the podcast?
Please bitch on your laptop.
Oh my god, I've got 4 screens open of the topic we're fucking talking about!
I'm looking at toys too!
Oh my god. Oh, you're fucking ruining everything!
And that cat shit smells!
I know, the cat shit smells throwing me off too. So, does anybody remember some good smelling strawberry shortcake dolls?
Oh yeah, those were scratch and sniffs, weren't they?
Yes, they smelled fucking delicious. But there was one they had there was peach whatever, but the banana twirl doll, she goes for $479 on eBay.
Is this inbox or loose?
Inbox.
Wow, fucking strawberry shortcake. Mm-hmm. Who would have thought?
You don't see a lot of loose toys holding value very well. There's some, but not many. I know a lot of Tonka trucks, like the old Tonkas from the 60s and 70s. Those are it's like scrap metal you can get out of one of them damn things. Are so heavy. But I know people pay big money for them.
I have a loose Star Wars Yak Face. He was released in 1985. Loose goes for $450. Oh. Yeah. But he was only released in Canada. He wasn't released anywhere else.
Yeah,
that's weird.
When you get that region specific too, that's a lot of money. Like, I imagine there's probably some European only, action figures probably released.
Yeah. And then for them too, because a lot of this stuff was also only released in the U.S. So if you're a collector overseas,
gotta open up my eBay store to overseas sales.
You should
double my fucking profit.
So this
is that shipping.
Yeah,
this is something I had to be reminded of, because at first I was like, "What? The Woozles." Do you remember the Woozles? Mm-hmm. They were these creatures. It was half one animal, half another, and they linked them, and they would create their own character. So one that you might remember, I had to see the picture of this before I could remember it. Bumble Lion. He was a lion and a bumblebee combined, and he was the main Woozle. I didn't remember him at first, and then hell yeah, I remember those. And Butter Bear, who's Butterfly Bear. Oh, man.
Put that up there with spoon liquor.
And then the creative process behind Bumble Lion and Butter Bear, which were capable of flight. Anyway, besides the Woozles, G.I. Joes.
Yeah, I had quite a few G.I. Joe toys.
I just remember the cartoon. I don't think we ever had any major action figures or anything from G.I. Joes. I just remember the cartoon.
I had this Cobra jet thing where like the wings would fold up and fly. It was blue and gray. I had a little Cobra action figure in that. And I just flew that across the house everywhere. It landed on the dinner table. It crashed in my bowl of cereal once because the guy had to make an emergency landing. Yeah, it went everywhere. It was awesome.
They're by Hasbro.
Yep.
Yep.
The Cobra Ninja action figure goes for $3,995.
Wow.
Brad's like, I got two of them under my bed.
Yeah, I never did
Brad's
G.I.
like, I
Joe.
sleep with those.
My buddy Pigpen's got a nice collection. He's got the big battleship and shit. And, yeah, I don't know much about G.I. Joes, but he's got all kinds of the shit.
So, Transformers, Hasbro and Takara Tomy, 1984, and the big seller, the Optimus Prime truck, $2,795.
That's...
Yeah, I think they call them Generation 1 Transformers. Those are worth a pretty penny. If you have them in the box.
Yep.
I kind of wish I had, paid attention. But when you're a fucking kid...
Yeah, who the fuck
and
would
we
have
only
known?
got... We didn't... My mom just didn't go out and, was like, oh, I'm going to buy the kids a bunch of shit today. We got stuff birthdays and Christmases.
And you wanted to fucking rip into it and have a good time.
Yeah,
Make that
I
shit
mean,
count.
we didn't get a lot of shit all the time. But, of course, Power Wheels... So, I don't think it was in the 80s, but I do know that there was an incident with a Power Wheel. It was a motorcycle. And a bunch of kids got hurt because they would start to go, and then the gas would stick, and they kept wrecking this fucking thing at high speeds. I mean, I'm talking, it would get out of control, and the accelerator would stick on these fucking things, and they would get hurt at high speeds.
You're wearing a helmet.
I'm in a Power Wheel.
Kids, man, sorry, learn to grow up. Gary Busey learned the hard way. Wrecked his bike without a helmet.
They came
Ain't
out.
been the same since.
They came out in 1984.
Man, a lot of good shit came out my year.
So,
Or 1982 coming up a whole hell of a lot.
yeah, 1982 has come up a whole hell of a fucking lot.
Not by what you've been saying.
Anyway, so, jarts, or lawn darts. What a beautiful way for kids to get hurt.
Yeah, I remember those.
So, I remember the actual lawn darts with the spear and shit. We never fucking threw them at each other. That's just dumb. But
No, you threw them up in the air and you moved before they could fall on you. You stood in the hoop, you threw it in the air, then before they fell, you got out of the way. That's how you played lawn darts.
Well, they were banned December 19th, 1988.
Then they came out with plastic ones.
Yeah, and then, they got the plastic ones, and then they also have the ones where, it's the ball on the end, the weighted ball,
Yep.
and you throw it up and the ball comes down. And now you got to get them into hoops.
How much is it worth? Because when we moved to Kentucky
There is no price on the
in 97,
jarts.
the house we moved into had a whole set. And we went out there and we did just like I said. We throw them in the air, stand in the hoop, and then we'd move before they fell in.
So would you guys like to know how many injuries that lawn darts caused?
How many?
Over 7,000 documented injuries from lawn darts before they got rid of them in 1988. You'd think after the first 1,000, it would have been like, guys.
I mean, it was the romaine lettuce of 1988.
Just took everybody out. So I know you guys got to remember these, the clackers. There were these fucking heavy ass. They weren't glass, but they were some kind of resin, and they were on a string, and you held it and you clacked them together and shit. They remind me of what are those? The bolos, that fucking weapon that's on the string, and you throw it and it goes around people's legs.
I remember the ones where it was you held a handle and there was two opposite balls and a plastic.
No. This was the original, those. This one had no stick in the middle.
Okay.
It was basically two heavy fucking balls on a string.
Yeah, I don't remember those.
And you clacked them together.
I remember the cheap plastic ones where it was on a handle.
No, those were the safe motherfuckers.
Fling your wrist just right.
These clackers got banned in 1985 because, they were essentially a fucking weapon. You guys know what weapon I'm talking about. Where they would throw them at people and the two balls would wrap around the
legs.
legs.
In the cartoon, the guy from Africa had it, and that's how we tripped the enemies up.
Yep.
The lizard men. And it was made from the meteorite material that would show that they were lizard people.
Oh, wow, I'm married to you.
I love that cartoon.
So anyway,
You suck.
yeah, they were banned in 1985 because they were dangerous as fuck. Brad, you got any more toys?
I've got all kinds of toys.
I mean, to talk about.
Well, the Muscle Men. I'm sure you guys know what those are. The little fucking peach-colored bodybuilder, wrestling-type looking fucking dudes. They're about an inch tall.
Did they ever make an Arnold Schwarzenegger one?
I think so. They made all kinds of weird-looking fucking dudes. Almost monster-like.
Kind of like, it reminded me of the Stretch Armstrong, only with muscles. Do you remember Stretch Armstrong?
I do, but you couldn't stretch them. They were
No, but I mean,
little
like...
pieces of plastic.
But I mean, like, there was Stretch Armstrongs, and there's little Muscle Men, and then there was the Polly Pockets. Just these little, like, chintzy...
I think Polly Pockets was 90s.
No, she's been around for a while. Polly Pocket came out by Mattel in 1983.
Oh, shit.
Polly Pocket.
Wow, I married that.
Demerit.
What else?
Show you.
And there was the Battle Beasts. Little animals that carried axes and had a prism on their chest. It was either fire, wood, or water. And that's the team they were on. Fucking love those, too.
Do we really
Dad-
need to arm beasts and fucking dinosaurs?
They were about an inch tall as well. About muscle man size.
I remember those too, I think.
Oh, they were fucking cool. I've got a shit ton of those. So
Yeah, we missed out on a lot of toys.
that's what I did. I never got into video games. I played with fucking toys until I was like in the 9th grade.
Until yesterday when he stopped playing with toys to go to work.
Yeah.
So, does anybody remember My Buddy?
I do.
Remember the commercial?
My buddy, wherever I go, he goes, my buddy,
Chucky
my
doll.
buddy,
Yeah, I think it's a good guy
my
doll.
buddy
Exactly.
and me. Actually, that was one of the inspirations for Chucky.
I'd say
Because
so.
it was my buddy and my sister. My
Now
sister.
they made him my sister.
Yeah, so the My Buddy doll and My Sister came out in 1985, Hasbro again. Play School bought them out in the early 90s. And yeah, they were the inspiration for Chucky. Pretty crazy.
hate dolls.
Yeah, Bert's got a thing about dolls.
Yeah, they all
Like
need
you
to
have
burn.
paranormal and I have backwards knees. He's got fucking dolls.
Creepy ass porcelain dolls.
Yeah, those porcelain dolls are fucking creepy.
I have to agree there. I'm not sure how many of them should exist today.
None.
Brad, what you got?
The Indiana Jones line made by Kenner. They were.
I don't
Indiana
remember
Jones
any of
toys.
them.
I don't either, but Indiana Jones is shit.
They're beautiful figures. They look really good.
Don't remember them at all.
We may have to take glamour shots of your toys to put them up on our page.
Yeah, I can take a few shots and
'Cause
send them to you.
Brad's got like museum level fucking style toys in
Got a
his
lot.
collection. Oh man, don't sell off anything good.
Yeah, I've got a lot I could move, so I'm gonna do that.
You got a lot of replicas?
2 of 1 collector's
Oh,
item,
duplicates?
Yeah, duplicates.
Oh, some shit, yeah. So
just in
move
case.
those.
Yeah, we definitely need to glamour shot your collection so we can protect it via insurance.
But then, well, here's another toy line which I thought is fucking great. They made a RoboCop toy line.
I remember that. That I remember.
Off a rated R movie. That's why the 80s fucking rule. Can you think of a fucking rated R movie that has a toy line nowadays? That's geared towards children, not adults.
No.
You know those like snap fucking handguns they'd give you? They put, what are those things called? Those
caps.
The caps.
Yep.
Cap guns.
Yeah, like the RoboCop, you could put that down into him and you fucking click him and make it sound like you're shooting his gun and shit.
So,
cool.
did anybody else really enjoy the smell of those?
No, not really.
I loved the smell of those when that gun would snap really loud and that little puff of smoke. It smelled so fucking good.
I'm married to that.
Give her another demerit.
Well, I also sniff cedar, so suck it. You did
She
marry
goes to
that.
Home Depot and sniffs wood.
Cedar smells so fucking good.
She tried to smell the green stuff. I was like, nope, that's pressure treated. You need to stay away from that stuff.
I'll sniff it anyway.
It's poison.
So I just have a couple of honorable mentions. I'm sure Brad has like 8-hour list.
I just have a few left, honorable mentions, so.
All right. Well, you do your honorable mentions because our honorable mentions might match up.
Well, I mean, we already kind of hit on Pound Puppies. We've got Thundercats, Secret Wars. It's basically Marvel figures. Superpowers, DC figures, Kenner. There's the sectars. They're like these bug men that rode around on bugs.
I want to collect some of this stuff because some of the animal stuff sounds really interesting, and I don't remember it.
And then there was Supernaturals. I don't know, they were like, there was a lot of hologram type stuff in the 80s. It was like they ghosts. It was like a ghost hologram with like hard plastic around it. They're called Supernaturals. Pretty badass.
That rings a bell.
The only holograms I remember is Jem and the holograms.
Then there was Voltron.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, that's about it for my honorable mentions.
So, did you know the Pound Puppies were by fucking Tonka?
I didn't. I had a couple Pound Puppies.
So, the one we had was all brown. Mm-hmm. And I tried to look up their names, and they don't come with names. You get to name them, because do you remember you got the adoption papers with them?
Yeah, okay.
So, they were made by Tonka in 1984, and they came in, it was a cardboard case that looked like a doghouse, and you had your adoption papers. If you today own a first edition with the doghouse and the adoption certificate, those fucking things go for $5,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But you got to have everything with it. But yeah, we only had one, and we had the all brown one. There was like a black and white spotted one, and an all white one, and a paler brown one. But we had the all like chocolate brown Pound Puppy. I don't think we ever named him.
Never had a Pound Puppy, not that I can remember.
But some honorable mentions for me are Hot Look Dolls, the Viewmaster we already talked about, the Simon Says game with the lights and everything.
Yes, that was cool.
I sucked at that.
I did too.
I've had dementia since birth, so having to remember shit was a problem for me. Hot Wheels, of course. Hot Wheels been around for fucking ever, though.
Yeah.
And that game with the water and the ring toss back and forth, the rings would fall down and you would push the buttons and the air would squirt the water up and you had to hook the rings. Mm-hmm. Oh, I spent hours playing that shit. And then moon shoes. So moon shoes were invented a long time ago, but they had these fucking wires in them, like bed springs. So when the kids would step down on them, if it broke, these wires would impale their fucking feet. So then later, they were a little bit safer in the 80s, which is why I mentioned moon shoes. But that's another one like the pogo ball. They discontinued it because they were like, these kids are jumping off cliffs and shit. And I'm like, where the fuck are these kids moon shoeing?
Yeah, really.
Where are you letting your kids play that they're like getting into trouble in their moon shoes and on their pogo balls? Those things don't really fucking bounce. At least not for me anyway. Unless my mom was getting knockoff pogo balls and knockoff moon shoes. Some fucking toy stores that I miss. Obviously Toys R Us. But I kind of heard they're coming back.
Jeffrey's Toy Box.
Jeffrey's Toy Box.
Never heard of it.
What the fuck? That was with the Toys R Us thing.
Jeffrey the Giraffe.
Oh. I didn't know you had a name.
Yeah, man. Fucking Jeffrey.
I've only been in Toys R Us like 5 times my entire life.
Well,
2 of them was with you.
Listen,
You're
so
missing out, man.
I never got to go to Toys R Us a lot either, but the commercials, though, I watched a lot of TV. I know a lot of commercials by. I still remember the My Buddy song.
I watched a lot of Gilligan's Island.
Oh my god. KB Toys. KB Toys started in like the fucking 20s, man. I was so sad to see it come out of the mall. That was pretty shitty. Johnny's Toys. Gadzooks. Natural Wonders. Okay, the Discovery Zone. It came out in the late 80s, but we need more places to take our kids to play indoors. It's basically like the play place at McDonald's, only awesome and clean and amazing. And there was a special room at the Discovery Zone where you could watch the balls from the ball pit come into the cleaning room and be washed and pumped back out. And first of all, I was mesmerized by watching that shit. Second of all, Discovery Zone had awesome-ass pizza. And third, what is more enjoyable than crawling around through fucking tubes and shit and jumping in ball pits?
Yeah, that shit was fun.
Ball pits have disease.
Yeah, but it had a ball washing room.
But would it wash out the heroin needles that were in the ball pit?
Yeah, well, okay, so we should start fucking IDing people and checking purses and shit at the door. Anyway, I like the Discovery Zone, and they should bring it back. Also, Sam Goody and Stephen Barry's.
I miss Sam Goody. I miss Stephen Barry's. Got some cool shoes from Stephen Barry's.
Brad, do you have anything else before I mention something disturbing as fuck that I found while researching these toys?
Just a few games. Mousetrap, Operation, Hungry Hippos.
Chutes and Ladders.
And that's about it for the 80s toys.
Connect 4.
No, that was 1974.
Was it?
Yep.
What about Guess Who? Anybody remember Guess
That might
Who?
have dropped in the 80s.
Barrel of Monkeys. Fucking Pictionary. I will say Hungry Hippos was great.
Yeah, I had played that quite a bit.
They came back out with it. We actually got our youngest a Hungry Hippo. And also, too, they came back out with Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Mm-hmm. And they put it in a box that looks exactly like the old box. And at Meijer, they have this whole section. It's called Vintage Games. And all the boxes and everything look like the old original boxes. They've got Connect 4, Battleship, all these cool games in like the old style boxes, and it's cool. And even though I own some of these games, I may have to buy them just for the boxes. Okay, so at first I didn't think it was real, but all of my research leads me to believe that this is a product that was actually put out on the market. And because it's so sketchy and weird, I couldn't find out exactly what year it came out. But there is a fucking toy that is called Poopy Time Fun Shapes.
I don't believe it.
I have looked it up, and like right now in my Google search, 15 outrageous kids toys you wouldn't believe got made. Somebody made this fucking toy. So Poopy Time Fun Shapes is a toy where it looks like a popsicle, like a weird futuristic popsicle type thing. And the one end is shaped in a cylinder shape that narrows. And then the other end, one of them shaped like a star, and one of them shaped like a heart. And basically, you put the pointed end up your butt. This was designed for children. And then when you poop out either a star or a heart fucking shape.
I just can't see anybody buying that.
No shit. And it says, Poopy Time Fun Shapes. It's about to get poopy. Make bathroom time fun again with the original Safe Glide adapter and Poopy Time Shapes. What will your kids poop up?
What the fuck?
That's what the fucking the box says.
There's pictures of it all over Pinterest, but I can't find anything about it.
Like and like I said, it all says that this shit got fucking made and nobody can. I don't think anybody bought it. So that's why I don't think that anybody talks about it. But, like, you can buy them on eBay and even on fucking Amazon. Like, I found them for fucking sale on Amazon and shit. Also, they used to make a Hitler doll. That's awesome. But that was in the 90s.
I'm trying to find it under, 15 outrageous kids' toys, and there's one called the Chopped Up Lady, where it was a body all chopped up for...
Well, they had a roadkill one where it was a cat that was all smushed with its guts hanging out.
Yeah, it says it's a kid's toy. But I have that in the shed.
Yeah, there was actually a doll that dances on a stripper pole.
It's got a stripper pole that it's a toy, but I bought mine at Spencer's and it wasn't from.
But you can legitimately buy a Poopy Time Fun Shapes, and it is designed for kids. Oh my god, they've got them at Walmart.
The Poopy
Time Fun Shapes.
Poopy Time Fun Shapes.
Oh my god. Okay, first of all, who's like, we should design stuff to stick in kids' butts?
I don't believe it.
And second of all, who leaves reviews on this? Because in some sections, I found where somebody's like, it doesn't even come out the shape. And I'm like, who's testing this product? So this is disturbing as fuck. And I thought it'd be a nice little wrap up to our little toys thing. So even though your Cabbage Patch doll may bite your kid's finger and break it, and even though your child may rocket himself off the edge of a fucking cliff in his moon shoes, people thought that it would be a good idea to design things for you to buy so your kids can stick it up their butt. Give me moon shoes and a pogo ball any day.
We're in a liberating time.
We're going to have to do friggin' one on, effed up toys, because there's some fucked up toys out there.
There's some fucked up toys. Seriously, things that should have never have been. And I'm sorry, but some of this, if I was sitting in a boardroom, and we're like, all right, come on, guys. We need something fun for the kids. Something new, something hip. If somebody had run the idea for Poopy Time Fun Shapes by me, I would assume they're a pedophile. I would assume they were disturbed, and they would be fired as fuck.
Yeah. I wouldn't have the balls to even pitch that idea. Here's a device to shove up children's asses to make star-shaped turds.
And I mean, why only stars and hearts?
Yeah.
It reminds me of fucking Lucky Charms, where my horseshoes, blue moons, and rainbows. Where are my other shapes for my poop?
Maybe it's some sort of test to put out there, and if somebody purchases their red flag fucking, like, this person.
Maybe. I don't know. But, I mean, maybe adults are buying these. I don't know how you would red flag them. I mean, what an adult wants to do with his poop is his own.
Well, yeah, but is it marketed towards adults or
No,
children?
absolutely not. There's 2 fucking kids on the front of the box.
Well, then that's why you
And they
red
look
flag a motherfucker that buys that.
And it looks they look excited as hell. I mean, and it, like, the tip of it's all brown and stuff. Oh my god. When we post this episode, I'll post a picture of the box of Poopy Time Fun Shapes. But yeah, it's and like the strain, it's essentially a butt plug and you have to poop around it. How long do kids need to be messing with their turds? I mean, they're already wiping their poop off their hands on the public restroom walls, and they got to put that in there and take that out. And then what about sanitary? And then first of all, don't stick stuff up your kid's butt or let them stick things in their butt.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's fucking weird. I just found Turd Twister.
That's the adult version.
That's the adult version. It's Turd Twister. Who the fuck?
So you can poop in shapes of a twisted turd, a stellar turd, a love turd, a lucky turd, a spaghetti turd, Christmas turd, lightning turd, birthday turd, pyramid turd, churro turd, gingerbread turd, wiener turd,
Gingerbread turd.
planetary turd, sun turd, and moon turd. That is so fucking disturbing.
No shit. What kind of planet? Really?
Easy access safety floss retraction cord attachment hole.
Does it have Safe Glide? Because the kids' version's
Yes.
got Safe Glide.
Smooth tapered in-wing design for comfortable easy insertion.
Insertion.
Engineered extrusion compression zone optimizes density and alignment. Easy grip sphincter lock for maximum retention and comfort. Designer template disc for every occasion and every craft project. Wide external flange minimizes the advent of over insertion. Talk about butt play. And we're done.
Yeah, I think we're fucking done with this episode.
So flat earthers, have you used Poopy Time or
Fun
Turd
shapes?
Twister? Let us know. We're interested. Because none of you people have reached out to us, and we're starting to believe you're not real.
Yeah, we do have legitimate questions, and I don't want to Google it, so we'd like to talk. And also, anybody that owns Poopy Time Fun Shapes or Turd Twister, let us know. We'd like to hear your review.
Yeah, we need to know the proper etiquette of Poopy Time Fun Shapes.
Do you do this in public restrooms or in the privacy of your own home, and how do you clean them?
Is KY jelly a good enough lubricant, or
Would that ruin the shape?
do you still use it if you have diarrhea?
I mean, I assume it just rocket out your butthole.
Rocket poops.
Rocket poops.
Rocket poops.
Anyway, if you've ever rocket shit,
I machine gun shit before, but
I mean, yeah, everybody's machine gun shit before. But if you rocket shit with your Poopy Time Fun Shape,
let us know.
or if that Safe Glide isn't as safe as it should be, you can tell us about it on Snapchat, our Facebook page, and on Twitter. And you can get all our episodes where we talk about weird shit stick up your butt on iTunes.
Stephanie's thinking a sphincter.
Sphincter. Fucking, of all the words, because you know how much I love words, sphincter and insertion. I'll go to bed giggling tonight, that's for fucking sure. But you can get us on Podbean, the Podbean app, iTunes, our YouTube channel, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play Music. And don't forget, we're Mouths Potty on Twitter. And we'd like to thank Purple Planet for our music. And this wraps up our second installment of Retro Rewind. We'll definitely be doing more of these. Hopefully
Absolutely.
not poop-based.
Maybe we just need to do a whole episode about poop.
We're really good at that. Talking about poop. We're just putting it all out there. I agree, we should. You guys have a great night. This is Stephanie.
This is Bert.
This is Brad.
Goodbye.